Hello, good evening. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to this video. Now, in the focus of this particular video is SMEs and websites. Right. This is a fascinating topic because, well, it's 2021. I've been saying it in my previous videos, and it's obvious everyone is migrating towards digital, and one of the cornerstone asset that any business could have, or even personalities rather, is a website. Now, what is a website? It is, in a simple sense, a collection of pages that is made out of codes, which then translates into these pages, which I fondly called or generally call content. So it's not just me but everyone else. So different content goes onto different pages, and a collection of those pages is essentially a website. Right. Now, if you're wondering why we have the little business model canvas right at the corner here, well, obviously you know that I'm going to refer to it later on. I mean, come on, this is my third video when it comes to this. Why? For the simple sense that when it comes to the website, it is an extension of your business. Right? It's an extension of what you're doing, your company, whether it's for marketing, comms, or even sales purposes. But before we go into that, let's start with SMEs and the website, right? First and foremost, website should not be a afterthought. Mistake number one, which I see many businesses and personalities do, is we need a website. We need a website to promote our stuff, service, us, the brand, or whatever it is. Okay, that's a good idea. Why do you need a website? What's the real purpose? Okay, I think I'm going to jump into the business model canvas sooner than I thought. When it comes to business, when it comes to the business sense, let's look at this. Where would the website fit into? Definitely, we are not talking about key partners. We're gonna ignore activities for the time being. Again, it has nothing to do with key resources that you need in order for you to deliver your value proposition to your clients. Cost structure a bit, but not necessarily. And finally, revenue stream. I'm gonna, for the time being, remove it. Okay. For the purpose of this discussion, I want to focus on one particular component of this business model canvas. As you can guess, I'm highlighting channels. But why channels? At the end of the day, your website needs to answer one question. What? Where is it? What is the website's business function vis-a-vis your business model, right? Model. Okay, right. Sorry about that. Because here's the thing, we often go into the idea that we need a website. Fine, yes, it's true, but why? How is it relevant to your organization? How is it relevant to your business? What will it do? It promotes your stuff. Okay, fine, you can do that on other multiple platforms. You can do that on apps, you can do that using social media pages, you can do that even on Telegram and all these different social media assets. So what do you do with it? What does it do? Are you using it as a content hub? Right? Is it your transactional digital touch point? What is it then? Is it a platform for interaction? Is it to deliver your customer relationship, your CR? Okay, when I say CR, I'm referring to this. What do I mean by CR? Okay, some companies are moving towards digitizing their business, and instead of going to counters, people go to their website. The website not only serves as a channel but also a distribution. It's not just a channel of communication, it is also a channel of distribution. So you can think of the likes of people selling digital products, airline tickets, AirAsia.com, MalaysiaAirlines.com, or whatever airline that uses their website to purchase and issue airline tickets. You have Booking.com, Agoda.com, same thing. It is your key channel for distribution, and the idea is it's one-off, right? And it is it can fit all of this, right? It can be one-off, it can be customized, right? And so on and so forth. So if I'm gonna give you this, right, I think you can already envision, right? Whatever and by the way, let me just say, you can have more than 4 reasons. It's not just this is not a finite number. These are not the finite reasons of what your website should do, right? If it's the content hub of the world, think Wikipedia, think what's the name of the thing, WebMD. It's a source of information. It is not meant to, it's, or any blogs for that matter, right? Blogs. There you go. Transactional digital touch point. You're talking about your e-commerce, sorry. I shouldn't really use jargons. It can be for your, it's generally electronic commerce, e-commerce. Anything that you do online. It can be your banking, if you're running a bank, a small bank. It could be securing an appointment, right? It's a platform for interaction, fine. You receive complaints, you receive feedback, you're giving feedback. Some schools and some universities are using websites as their platform for interaction. You deliver or distribute your service or your digital products. Now, as I say that, you can already imagine that there are different levels and thresholds as to complexity. So when you're just a content hub, it's straightforward. People come, people go, people come, people go. But the moment you want it to be let's say that item number 3, platform for interaction, the onus is a bit different. The threshold is different because you want to collect database, and once we talk about database, you have to go through your website has to be secured. You need to ensure that the data that you collect are safe. You do everything necessary and proper to ensure that your database will be safe from hackers, phishers, and even illegal or unauthorized distribution. Obviously, if you want it to be a transactional touchpoint, digital touchpoint, you will have a higher degree of complexity. Okay, let let me give you a few seconds to absorb that. And let me just recap. So it goes back to what your business model is. Your website's function goes back to what your business model is. What sort of business function is your website trying to accomplish? Until and unless you can answer this question clearly, it is very hard for you to hit the mark, or at least move in phases, right? Maybe your first phase, you're thinking of, hey, it's going to be an online brochure. Fine. So this will take, say, 6 months to develop. And it's a form of content hub. Oh, it's going to also serve as portfolio. Another 6 months, 3 to 6 months, I don't know. It depends on how many stuff you have. Again, it's content hub. Oh, guys, it's 2020, 2021. We need to we are trying to downsize. Sorry, I shouldn't use that. We're trying to right size the company. We are restructuring the company, so we want everything to go predominantly digital. Let's get rid of the sales team. Fine, okay. Then you will need this, number 3. It goes higher. It may take another 6. Okay, let's say that's 6 months. This should be 3 months, logically speaking. 3 to 6 months, right? 3 to 6 months. This could take 6 to 12 months, depending. And the more functions you want, the more functions you want, the more complex your website would be. Okay. The more functions you want, the more complex your website would be. So generally, broadly speaking, websites, you can either use free content management systems, or you can write it from scratch. Okay, there are pros and cons. Right from scratch, you control effectively the code. You control the coding. You have a degree of control. It's proprietary to you. However, you will need an in-house developer. You will need an in-house web designer. You will need in-house programmers. If you can't afford them in-house, then hire an agency to continue to update, maintain. Okay. Now, the cheaper or the cost-effective solution is to use free CMSs or open source CMS, content management systems. Some of them, let me just list out: WordPress. We also have Joomla, among others. There's a lot out there. Some even have those wiki modules. There's a lot of content management systems out there. Just speak to your developer, your digital marketer of sorts, your web developer, and all that. Right now, when you write from scratch, all these functions, what's the relationship? Okay, when you write from scratch, you need to have someone programming that different items into your website. Either they write from scratch or they customize existing modules or software or codes or programs, whatever you want to call them. Okay, we move towards the content management system. I'm going to be biased towards WordPress because that's one CMS that I've been using for years. Now, the WordPress CMS allows you to create apply templates and customize it according to your ability to customize. Should use blue. On the WordPress template, you can do blog posts, you can do pages, you can do menu, you can upload your content, i.e. when I say content, it can be text, it can be video, audio, or visual. Okay. Now let's say you already have that. The skeleton is there, you have your photo and blah blah blah, your text, and then you have another page doing the same thing, and another page, and you have the menu. Oh, I should put the menu here. The menu, why do I have an extra E there? The menu there. Alright, you have the menu. You can, let's say you want to incorporate, remember you want multiple functions onto your website, right? How do you address that problem? Oh, I want a CRM, I want a customer relationship management system incorporated, I want to collect email, let's say. Well, what you do using WordPress, you go and look for what we call plugins. Plugins are not developed by WordPress. Plugins and templates are provided by independent developers or providers. Independent. Okay, it's provided by independent providers. Only the core modules, the blog posts, the pages, the menu, the content, the text, yada yada yada, the menu item, these are under WordPress. Templates and plugins are provided by independent providers. Okay, however you want to make it look, your layout, your blog layout, your website layout on WordPress, likewise on your Joomla, same thing. So you have to change template, you have to change plugin, so you can have WordPress, and this is different. Please bear in mind, your domain is one item, your hosting is another factor. Sometimes it's a package, sometimes it's separate. Hosting is akin to that space for your website, your content, your emails to a degree. Domain is your address. Domain is your address. Hosting is your space where you are where you put your where you put your website. Okay, it has to sit somewhere. Template is how it looks like. Plugins are the function. Now we've addressed that. The idea which many people like to have is you build it. Oops, where is it? You build and you leave. Websites of today, this is true. This is true in the 90s. You can hard code, you can write the code from scratch, you can use whatever template, you have 5 pages, that's it. I can't remember the name of that particular platform provided by Yahoo. It was so popular. Angel Fire is among them. Angel Fire, create your website with Angel Fire, and you will get it. You will get the few pages, 5 pages for free. That is, you do it, you build it, your background can be green, your text can be red, you can have music coming out, some glittery animation, some pop-ups. Fine, build and leave it. But here's the problem. When you're talking about the internet, you cannot see your website in isolation, because there are always updates. Updates in what form? Technology, security. And websites, especially when you're talking about the likes of CMS, content management systems, like Joomla and WordPress would every now and then update itself. It will go from version 14.8 to 14.9, 14.10, and so on and so forth, until the next version of WordPress comes out, 15, and so then again it goes 15.1, 15.2, 15.3, and so on. Okay, that is just WordPress. Remember, we were talking earlier on that templates are provided by independent providers, and then you have plugins provided by independent providers. What happens? What happens there? They will then have to update whatever they have, if they're still operating, that you use, so that it fits whatever version of WordPress it is. Likewise, the plugins. Now, sometimes the updates may need to be customized. Therefore, you have a bit of coding and programming. Alright, coding and programming. Now, you wanted the easy way out. So my question is, when will your website ever finish? The answer is it won't. And why did I bring up the story of your business model? Okay, just like trends when it comes to social media bandwagon, we need to understand what is your business function. It's okay. Remember this phase thingy? We were talking about this green arrow here. Phase 1, you want Content Hub, purely brochure, clear. Okay, phase 2, it's time to deploy, add in your portfolio, add in your past work. Phase 3, you include CRM. Phase 4, you include something else, and so on and so forth. It's alright, but there is a degree of planning and milestones. Okay, now let's say you're from scratch and you want to have all of that. Again, planning and milestones. It would have everything in there, but along the way, how many updates can happen on WordPress? I don't know, once a month, 6 times a month. Why? Because there's these changes. These changes is within the ecosystem that your website sits in. So that is why another a relative of the website are apps. Have you noticed how often and how frequent your apps are being updated in the Google Play Store, in the App Store? It's almost updated every other day. And you expect a website to be static? I'm impressed. The answer is no. Unless, of course, your level of requirement earlier is minimal. If it's minimal, then by all means, you build and leave. You update something simple. You don't have to worry about plugins. But if you're jumping on the trend, you want VR, you want virtual reality, you want 3D, you want to have a video tour, you want to have an interactive tour, or these days you want to host international conventions and conferences on your website. Not impossible. No, it's not impossible at all. But who's going to maintain it? Who's going to keep it up to date? Up to date with tech, up to date with security, up to date with codes, up to date with devices, technology again, security. It goes back to that. Who? And it is very hard to anticipate, I'll have to tell you that. And it is possible to anticipate, but you can't work on a static arrangement. You will need a dynamic arrangement for the sake of your organization. Unless you're willing to hire an in-house developer, an in-house web designer, an in-house programmer, an in-house UI UX UI UX analyst. And all these jargons that I'm saying, what do they mean? Okay, remember when we talk about websites are a collection of pages? Now let me move my cursor here. Let's move the canvas there and start afresh. A website, depending on how complex you are, how demanding your organization is for the website, if all you need is a web presence and you don't care what color, you don't mind that white background, black font, Open Sans font, you can do that easily on WordPress. Get your it's very easy. You just create a content creator familiar with WordPress. Okay, go for it. But the moment you have different brand requirements, or you have a lot of visual elements, you need a web designer. A web designer who appreciates and understands the different principles of web design, not just visual design. Okay, a web designer is not a graphic designer. Please bear that in mind. A web designer thinks in terms of websites, frameworks, and navigation, navigability. Then you have programmers who handles the codes. Okay, you need the UI UX. You need the search engine optimization specialist. Then you need every now and then you need a business analyst to make sure that what is required by your organization is delivered by the website, to analyze the requirements. You will need, what else? Programmers, website developers, UI UX, SEO specialists, BA analysts, business analyst, content creator. Sometimes you need video editors. You may need graphic designers. Sometimes you may need copywriters, because someone has to write the content for your website. Suddenly, website is not as simple as you think, isn't it? Oh, but we need database. Okay, you need someone who's familiar with your CRM. Who's going to do that? Who is going to do that? Who is going to be the custodian? Again, it goes back, why do you need a database? What is the outcome? Where does it fit? So your website goes back to your business model. What's the aim of the website? So stop seeing a website as independent of your business model, as independent of the ecosystem that your website sits in. That's where SEO comes in. And SEO, because there's volumes of content being published every second. Come on. Every second there's updates. You don't believe me? Go onto Wikipedia, pick any random popular page, check last edit. How often was that particular article updated in the last 1 year, if it's created in the past year? A boring topic will have updates once every couple of months. A popular topic will have updates, and we're just talking about content. What about the different rules, the different algorithms? So algorithmic changes by Google and Facebook and all the other search engines available online. Algorithmic changes, who's going to keep up to that? I'm going to tell you, web content creator may not be able to do that. Web designer probably, programmers definitely, UI UX maybe, SEO specialist yes, business analyst no, video editors no, graphic designers no, copywriters no, CRM no. That is the reality headcount. So if you're talking about headcount, how many people do you need to be on your payroll? And because these things are different, belong to different disciplines, yeah, you'll get some unicorns that have a skill or two. I mean, I was a copywriter. I can play with a bit of CRM. I am able to do simple video editing. If it's on Canva, I can do graphic design, but no way in hell, I'm sorry for the language, that can I do website design, programming, UI UX. I can do some special SEO applying SEO application, but I can't program for the life of me the new website. So it seems complex, but it goes back down to that question here. This little canvas, right? This little canvas, and that question that I posed, that I wrote there. What is the website's business function vis-a-vis your business model? Where does it sit? I actually asked a client this once. Where does it sit in the sales cycle? Where is it in your, they call the marketing funnel? What purpose does it serve in terms of your user journey or customer? Where does it fit within your digital ecosystem? When I say digital ecosystem, referring back to my last video, what is your website's function in relation to your different social media assets? And then your CRM, how do they fit and feed into each other? Quite a lot to take in it. Anyway, it's almost, we've passed the 30 minutes mark. My name is, once again, Eldrick Tinker Toyat from Advert Writer. Ew. What happened? There we go. Type here. Finally it's out. Okay. Let me give you my email. This is my email, aldric@advertwriter.com. This is my email. And you can also send me a message on Telegram. Just search for @Eldrick Toyat. So if you have people who are unsure about their website, what they want to have their website, or they want to revamp their website, feel free to get in touch with me. Let's do a simple quick consult. We can do coffee over Zoom, coffee over Google Hangout, coffee over Google Chat, or we can arrange something and see, what do you do from here? Is your website serving your business function? No, really. Is there any real business function vis-a-vis your business model? What are you really trying to accomplish with your website? Often, I have to tell you this, many people can't give me a right answer. Well, a right answer based on their business model. It's the easiest questions to ask, but the hardest to answer. And I'm sorry, that can only be answered by someone from inside the organization who is privy to your direction and your business model. It is not an external person's role. I'd be creepy. It would be creepy, I'd be creeped out if an external party knows exactly what my business model is without me telling them. And some things that should be private information is no longer private. Okay, so thank you very much. Once again, I'm Eldrick Tinker Toyat from Advert Writer. You can reach me on my email address, eldrick@advertwriter.com, or through Telegram. Drop me a message @Eldrick Toyat. So It's January 21st when I am uploading this and releasing it. Stay safe, take care of yourself. Please share this with people who you think would benefit from this video. Have a great day. Bye.